G'day guys, and today we are celebrating 666. No, I mean 666 subscribers. I don't know if it's exactly that number at the time that this is coming out, but it was at least that amount. So thank you guys for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? And I thought to celebrate this, I could talk about Halloween, and talk about how me as both a Christian and an Aussie celebrates Halloween. I'm going to do this in both of my Anicorn Aussie Adventures channel as well, so if you're watching that from there, hey, subscribe to that one as well. That one's got like 66 or way less, subscribers, so subscribe there. If you like anything Aussie and, look at the videos there, you can just subscribe there and make me smile, but, if you watch the videos and ring the bell, that's when you actually get the notifications and stuff. So subscribing just makes me happy and gets me more, people looking at this, makes us get closer to 1,000, which is when I actually can get money from this. And as someone who finds it very hard to work because disabilities, it would be amazing if I could get that extra money from doing something that I find fun. But today I'm going to talk about this stuff that I guess I would normally talk about in my Anicorn's Aussie Adventures, but here we go. So I live in Australia, if you didn't realise that. For a long time, us Australians did not celebrate Halloween. When I was born, there was no Halloween in Australia. My mum said that she remembers, giving us kids a bath. I must have been, 3 or something. And she says that she remembers somebody knocking at the door, and she'd been like, what are people doing? And them saying trick or treat, and she's been like, I'm trying to bath the kids. If you know anything about looking after, 2 kids at once and trying to get them to both do the same thing, it can be tricky. All I wanted to do was play in the water. I didn't want to actually be bathed. So I am someone who loves costumes and loves lollies. I know that some people are just like, I don't want to dress up, and there are some people who, I was talking to a kid yesterday about, do they like Halloween? And he said, sort of. And I said, what do you not like? And he said, sometimes I get a tummy ache from eating lollies. I never got that experience. I've been able to, stomach loads of lollies. I get a big sugar high. ADHD, I get that thing, but I don't get tummy aches. I can get bathroom problems, but it's worth it. And that's from the things like licorice and chocolate, lactose intolerant, so not lollies themselves, if you know what I mean. If you're from America and you're watching this, lollies is just what we call candy. We think of candy as lollies with a wrapper around it. Lollies, the gummy the gummy things, those are what we call lollies. But yeah, normally we say we get lollies and candy, instead of you get candy for Halloween. But I guess now these days, especially, you do get a lot of lollies and wrappers, so I guess we would call those candy. It's more like the ones that are hard, like the caramel that are in those sort of wrappers. I guess we would call that candy. But I still call the those in general, the ones in wrappers, I still call those lollies. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so we mainly call them lollies, like lollipop. It's just without the pop bit. Just imagine it like that. I just know that from my typing, we have like an American styled punctuation grammar thing, correction, and it doesn't think that lollies is a word. It's like, yes it is. I guess that's one of those Australian slangs that you like never realise is Australian slang until you're talking to an American. That happened with me with mozzies, which you get a lot of, which I'll talk to about later. Anyway, so as we grew up, we started trying to, like, Mum wanted us to have fun and not miss out. So we handed out lollies, and I loved to dress up, and sometimes Mum would buy us each a packet of lollies or something. But then one year, I remember I was handing out this big plate or bowl of candy canes. I was dressed up as a pirate, but it was a very, like, homemade costume, and one, like, I think she was 12, yeah, she bullied me about it, and, you know, I was, like, 8, 6, something like that, so, it wasn't really bullying, but it felt like that at the time, because I was a sensitive 6-year-old, and I was like, I'm doing the Halloween thing that my mum doesn't normally let me do, because Christian and Aussie, and yeah, and we weren't allowed to go trick-or-treating, like, asking people for lollies, and celebrating, you know, Halloween stuff. No thanks, said Mum. And, like, this was Mum's version of celebrating Halloween. Going out, handing out lollies, you know? And then, during the end of the night, when my mum had gone inside, I was giving out candy canes, and it was, you know, one, like, pack of teenagers, I remember it was, you know, boys, they just grabbed the candy canes out of my hand and ran away laughing. I think it was the hilarious thing to be mean to a 6-year-old or whatever I was. And I, like, ran inside crying. I don't remember if it was that year or if it was the next year that our car got egged after that. I must have been, like, 8, but I felt, you know, I was a very sensitive kid. I had to toughen up now, but I was very sensitive. So, yeah, that was an experience. I remember that one time we tried having dinner outside because, you know, it all happened outside, and we didn't want to keep continuously getting up to give out lollies. That was before we got a car egged. Either that or it was one of the years that the car got egged. Maybe the car got egged twice. I do not like. Why do people egg things? Why is that okay? Why do you enjoy that? I don't get it. I don't get it. I also don't get the tea papering thing. Putting toilet paper everywhere. Like, isn't that just a lot of hard work for something to look really, and then someone else has to do another bit of hard work of packing it up, cleaning it up? Like, I don't get it. Is it meant to look like spider webs? Like, I'm so confused by that. And we don't call it tea papering. I've never seen anyone do that in Australia. I've seen a lot of egg things. And we don't really have, like, rotten eggs in Australia. They're, like, You know, they're just uncooked eggs. But, you know, it's still disgusting. It's still really hard to wash off. And it's still really annoying. I remember last year, there were some kids that just had some eggs, and they're like, I want you to have this egg, I want you to throw it, because they could tell that I was, you know, one of those gullible people. And I felt like I should have just grabbed that egg and smashed it right there so that it wouldn't smash, so that he wouldn't throw it at something else, like, that was hard to clean it off. Or like, run and put that egg in the fridge or something. That probably would have been a better idea, actually. But yeah, I just don't get that. Kids, I don't like it how people just find it fun to be mean. I don't understand. I'm starting to understand peer pressure though. I mean, that kid wasn't even my peer, like, he wasn't my friend or anything. And, I didn't know this kid, but I felt it. So these days, what happens is there'll be lots of people who are just like, we don't celebrate it. Their mum might buy them some lollies, but that's it. There are some like streets that do it. And then there are some streets that don't do it. The main indication that you're a house that's giving out lollies these days is if you've got decorations out. Or even just something that says, we hand out lollies or something. I normally just see decorations, and they are spooky decorations, and lots of people go for costumes that are spooky. I saw a mum this year with a whole bride costume, and her face was white with like black lipstick. So she was the corpse bride. I could have given her a way cooler makeover, but but the face paints were meant for kids, and I don't think I was meant to do anything creepy. Yeah, so, but like, I know that in America it's just like dress up as whatever you want. Like in the Halloween specials, you just see like kids dressed up as superheroes and stuff, especially in superhero Halloween specials. And I always got confused by that because I thought it was creepy stuff, but now I mainly do just whatever you want. I mean, today I'm going to an Australian Halloween party tonight, which is why I'm kind of just a goth girl. I'm going to do some makeup later. I'll show you. I'll post you guys some photos on Instagram so you guys can see what I did. But what we normally do now as a tradition, which is fantastic, is this thing called Lolly Mania, which we run at our church. Other churches do other things as well, but what we do is like, some people in my church, particularly my mum, are kind of passionate about how this is what you should do instead of Halloween. And then other people are just like, we're celebrating Halloween. And just, you know, having fun, giving out lollies. So we'll have all this free stuff. It's like almost like a market. And we'll just have all these booths, like a little fair in our church, and everything will be free. There's free fairy floss, free decorating of cupcakes. I always do face painting. I'll show you guys some pictures. There's, like, everyone's dressed up, and we try to do it as least spooky as possible. There's a puppet show, you know, themed on God, Jesus. I think today was, like, candy cane, sorry, lollies are like treasures. I don't know why I said candy canes. Lollies are like treasures, and Jesus' love is the best treasure, was what the puppet show was doing it on. I didn't get to see the puppet show. No one told me what times the puppet show was on. It's always a lot of fun. And I always dress up as Supergirl for those because, you know, I love Supergirl. You can't go wrong with my outfit, and I like add on to my outfit every year. I always have something like new to add on to it. I really should have brought my Super Savior flag that I'm just looking at right now. I should have done that. But I'll show you some photos of us with, there should be some photos here actually. And I'll show you a video of Maple's new super costume. I got a little costume for my rabbit, Maple Syrup, and he looks so cute. It is a little bit small for him, so he can't wear it for too long, and the sleeve's like a little bit long for him because it is like for a small dog. So, you know, I give him a lot of treats when he does wear it. Take a couple of photos, and then I don't leave it on for like too long for him. You know, I'm not abusing my pet, you know? And he has a dragon costume that is just like a harness with a tail. You know, it just feels like his harness to him, and he doesn't mind that one at all. So that's what we'll wear tonight, and I'll show you some photos on Instagram, like I said. But you've probably seen some photos if you follow my like LARP stuff. I really need to make a video about going to LARP with Maple and being disabled and all that. But yeah, that is Halloween in Australia and for my family. I guess we also had years where we went to Macca's, because Macca's was a very special thing for our family. Well, at least for us kids, we hardly ever went to Macca's because my younger brother was additive free, preservative free, artificial stuff free, and there is so much of that in everything. And so Macca's was just like, what can we even buy for him? What can he even eat from there? And he could eat the chicken nuggets and the chips. So, he would get that. I would get, I didn't really have a go-to, but like, but I know that I really like the milkshakes there. Now that I have my own money, I get like, you know, my main go-to is the frozen Fantas and the cheap stuff like the ice cream is always cheap there, the soft serve they call it. I say chips, Macca's is so American that they still call them fries there, even though we live in Australia, and yeah. So we did that, but then there were also teenagers there with sexy costumes. I don't understand why people think it's a good idea to go out as a sexy ... for Halloween. Like, I think they should be called inappropriate costumes. Like it's marketed as sexy cat, for example, but it should be called inappropriate costume of a cat. Inappropriate clothes with ears, more like, and a tail. And I just don't get it. Like, kids are out. Like, I don't want to see that. I mean, I know it's your body and your stuff, but these are my eyes. And I can't get that picture out of my head. And it's like, do you want me looking at your body in that way all the time? Like there's a reason why people get raped. Happy Halloween, I guess, or Lolly Mania, whatever you want to call it. Happy lollies and dress-ups. And I do like horror movies, and like especially stuff like, I'll put the movies here, but those, you know, I like celebrating creative, freaky, spooky movies. I like doing that. Yeah. Bye. If you you want me to make a video about spooky movies and why I enjoy spooky stuff, even though I have generalized anxiety, then tell me in the comments. I can do that. And if you want to see more videos where I talk about my life, tell me in the comments. Alright, bye. Tell me what you want more of in the comments. Just say something. Say like, bleh in the comments. I don't know. Bye. 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 Bye.